Hi, this is Will Cheney with a summary of my instructional design plan to apply the Assure model to a unit in online 6th grade social studies. This plan was developed for implementation at JK8, a fully online school which has seen a 1,500% increase in enrollment this semester due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This increase in enrollment has caused a need for a new analysis of our learning population. The learners this year are less homogeneous than the typical JK8 population. We needed to provide both synchronous and asynchronous opportunities for learning while balancing a rigorous school experience with the minimal at-home workload that our families were expecting. For this short unit, I only have the opportunity for one synchronous live lesson, and will be relying on the assigned textbook for the other 2 lessons. These textbook assignments involved active reading and embedded writing prompts and activities. The live lesson will be based around cognitive learning theory with inductive learning models. By the end of the unit, students should be able to identify North American regions by their physical, climate, human, and economic characteristics as assessed by a quiz and live lesson. As a measurable objective, students will distinguish the correct physical region with at least 75% accuracy when given a set of 8 annotated images. The unit applies cognitive learning theory, as described by Sarah Mason-Serra, in a few ways. First, students will apply the concept attainment model as described in Joyce Wheeler Calhoun's 2017 text, Models of Teaching, to distinguish images of 2 regions through inductive thinking in small groups. Next, those students will apply the picture word inductive model to develop their own annotated image of a particular region. These annotated images are compiled into a game on GimKit, where we invert the process of inductive learning for students to make inferences based on the definitions they developed inductively. The same skills will be applied to the summative assessment, which will be described in a moment. The 2 textbook reading lessons are assessed formatively through our weekly comprehension check. This is a brief assessment over Schoology, which involves some objective matching or multiple choice questioning, as well as subjective short responses for each section. The inference game also serves as an informal formative assessment, although the game environment does bring some other factors into play, such as students rushing or misclicking that could affect the performance data. So, the summative assessment of the unit directly relates to my objective. Students will distinguish the correct physical regions in a set of 8 annotated images. But what's cool about this piece is that I'll be able to use the web technology to create an immersive experience for the assessment through a virtual reality tour. To be sure that the technology components enhance both my content and pedagogical approach, I've applied the TPAC evaluation tool. This analysis demonstrates that the selected technology serves to reinforce both the content and the pedagogy of this lesson set. Through the purposeful application of the Assure model, the goals, activities, and assessment of this unit are aligned to serve and reinforce one another. The alignment and evaluation process is ongoing and iterative, as this unit is improved for subsequent years or modified for changing circumstances. As in this case, I've adapted it from a set of classroom activities to a limited online experience. The digital environment of our live lessons is a program called Adobe Connect. This platform allows me to communicate with the class through video conferencing and share documents that students can mark up through these various pods and layouts. I also have the ability to send students into breakout rooms where they complete work collaboratively in smaller groups. Adobe Connect has plenty of features to require participation from those students who attend synchronously, but many of our students choose to work asynchronously, which poses a problem in this stage. Schoology allows me to require participation on each piece of the unit through student completion requirements. Whether a student attends the live lesson or not, they will still need to complete each task, even those ungraded activities, in order to move on from the section. I'm also able to provide both synchronous and asynchronous feedback to my students. Of course, asynchronous students cannot get the same immediate feedback that I'm able to provide in the live lesson by rotating through groups or sending private chat messages in real time. However, Schoology will allow me to send recorded voice messages to students. Although this lacks the immediacy of synchronous feedback, research has shown that in an asynchronous remote learning environment, students are 3 times more likely to implement audio feedback as compared to written comments. In evaluating this instructional design, I'll first look to student achievement of the objective. Student achievement data is collected through the informal and formal methods described previously. As for assessing the student experience, I can again collect immediate feedback during the live lesson, but this is not as formal or reliable as anonymous student feedback. In a remote setting, it is even more important that teachers solicit student feedback regularly to improve instruction. I'll be offering a student survey through Microsoft Forms to assess the engagement and instructor effectiveness of this set of lessons. Finally, I'll need to act on this data. Although this unit was developed for a very particular context and environment, the models and strategies can be adapted to various contents and teaching settings. It'll be important to ask myself these questions before archiving the materials so that I can make effective use of them in the future and share them with other teachers with credibility. Thank you.